When I first moved to Tanzania, I thought I really understood what accessibility meant. I'd spent years in a wheelchair. I traveled around the world. I spoke on stages. I lived in cities where curb cuts and ramps were everywhere. But here, in a country where sidewalks are more like suggestions, I learned something that completely changed the way that I see accessibility and privilege. Accessibility, I realized, it isn't about ramps. It's about how people show up for one another. When I first arrived, reality hit really fast. No ramps, steps everywhere, roads that turn to mud and flood when it rains. The first time that I tried to go out alone, I got stuck. Literally stuck in the red clay outside of our house. And I remember sitting there and thinking, what have I done? And then my neighbor came over, barefoot, smiling, and without a word, lifted my chair and then said, "Karibu," which means you are welcome. That moment rewired something inside of me. Accessibility, I realized, it isn't only physical, it's relational. Back home, I had every accessibility feature imaginable, but I often felt invisible. Here, I have almost no accessibility, and yet I've never felt more seen. Privilege, I've discovered, isn't just about money or power. It's about the ability to expect ease, to assume that the world was built just for you. Even as a disabled woman, I lived in systems that made life easier for me. It made it easier for me than for many people here. Moving to Tanzania has made me grateful and uncomfortable in the best possible way. It reminded me that compassion fills gaps that infrastructure can't. So when people ask me, isn't it hard to live there? I say yes, but it's meaningful hard. I say that because accessibility isn't something that we should be waiting for governments to build. It's something we create in how we treat each other. I want to use the privilege that I do have, education, a platform, resources, to help this country become more accessible for everyone. That's what this journey and this series is all about. If this story resonates with you, I invite you to keep watching Accessible Africa with the Mtui family. Together, we'll explore life, leadership, and inclusion across the beautiful continent of Africa, one mindset, one ramp, and one story at a time. Subscribe to join the Mtui family journey and check the links below. If you want to learn more about my coaching, the Hope Shift Method, or even our retreats that we plan on hosting here in Tanzania. Accessibility begins with how you think and how we show up for one another.